he play or will he sit? That is the golden question for Texans Ravens this Sunday, revolving around number 8 right here, Lamar Jackson. Multiple reporters give different outlooks on Lamar Jackson's injury ahead of Week 5. I'm going to break down who said what and what us Texans should expect this Sunday facing Baltimore in Baltimore as the Texans face one of their rival teams in the AFC who's given them a lot of trouble the past couple of seasons. But if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is why you subscribe. ESPN, they're going to drop articles this week on ESPN Plus around Lamar Jackson's injury. Update, exclusive. But you know what? You have to pay for ESPN Plus. It's $120 a year. Here at Texans Today, it is $0 a year to subscribe. You get to watch all my videos. We have fun giveaways. You can pay for raffle tickets, but we also give away free raffle tickets on our live shows. So it costs nothing to be a Texans fan here at Texans Today, the #1 Texans channel here on YouTube. If you haven't already, go down. It's 100% free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button. All right, I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but the Baltimore Sun put this out on X. Very reputable. If you don't know the Baltimore Sun, also, they were the ones who kind of dropped the story around Justin Tucker and all of that kind of misconduct he had last season. So they're a pretty reputable source. This is what they said yesterday. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson could be out for up to 2 to 3 weeks, and it's likely to miss Sunday's game against the visiting Houston Texans with a hamstring injury. 2 sources with direct knowledge of the situation confirmed this to the Baltimore Sun on Tuesday. So that was on Tuesday with the Baltimore Sun saying they heard from 2 direct sources within the team that he is likely to miss on Sunday. Not so fast, sweetheart. Ian Rappaport said, psych, that's not happening. This is what he said live on ESPN Today. I would say it's more of a week-to-week situation right now. He's going to try to play this week. So Rapp said, no, Baltimore Sun. He's not out this week already. They're going to try to play him, and he's going to try to give it a go up against the Houston Texans. This is what his head coach Lamar Jackson's head coach John Harbaugh said on the situation. There was no way he was going back into the game. The injury precluded it. The way I know Lamar, if he could have gone back in the game, he would have been in the game. That's how he is. That's him discussing Lamar Jackson's injury after the Chiefs game on whether or not he would have been able to go back in. He said no way in hell would he have put Lamar Jackson back in that game, meaning maybe the injury was a little bit more serious than we thought. This is a Ravens reporter on X who follows the team very closely. He's a beat reporter for the Baltimore Ravens, Jamison Hensley. This is what he had to say today at 12:38. Ravens QB Lamar Jackson was not practicing Wednesday. Jackson left Sunday's loss in Kansas City with a hamstring injury. If Jackson can't play Sunday against the Texans, Baltimore is expected to turn to Cooper Rush, which we already knew a little bit more about that. And this is what Jeremy Fowler had to say on the situation. Source on Lamar Jackson, the type of player that he is and the amount of running that he does says that he will probably want to feel really good before he returns. But my sense is the Ravens want to let the practice week settle before making any determinations. So after you've seen everybody on both sides, people giving you, a lot of hope that he's going to play, people saying no chance he's going to play, what do you think? Let me know down in the comment section. Do you think Lamar Jackson plays this Sunday for the Baltimore Ravens? Give me a yes. Give me a no down in the comments section. I'll give you my answer here in just 1 second. I actually don't think he's going to play, and I think for a multitude of reasons, I just think they want to protect him from himself. I think if it was just up to Lamar Jackson, he would want to go out there. He would want to play up against the Texans because, remind you, this is not only a big game for the Texans, it's a massive game for the Ravens. They need to get back on the right track themselves. They haven't started the year how they've wanted to. And in the AFC North, maybe a little bit of a tougher division than the AFC South if they get behind early with another loss to the Houston Texans. Now, saying that, maybe Lamar Jackson, hamstrings, it's a fickle mistress with those, soft tissue injuries. Sometimes they heal really quick. And sometimes, as us Texans fans know with Will Fuller, they just continue to plague some of these players. I don't know if that's the case with Lamar Jackson. I think the fact that he's not practicing here on Wednesday and the fact that, they've already said multiple times, they want people close to the team, people close to Lamar Jackson. They know he's a running quarterback. They know one of the biggest parts of his game, if not the biggest part of his game, is his ability to get yards on the ground. If he's not able to do that, maybe the team says, hey, we're maybe a little bit better off with Cooper Rush and then not putting our two-time MVP in harm's way up against this Texans defense, who is number one in terms of points allowed per game and top 10 in a ton of categories, including getting after the quarterback. Now, coming up, why it won't be easy without Lamar. Even if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk because I don't think we can necessarily sleep on Cooper Rush. Now, I know a lot of Texans fans probably chuckling right now because the last time the Texans played Cooper Rush was in Dallas on Monday Night Football, and we all know how that game went last year. But this Ravens team's a little bit different. I don't think we should sleep on Cooper Rush and this Ravens team, even if Lamar Jackson isn't playing on Sunday. I'll tell you about that in just a moment, but I couldn't do today's show if it wasn't for our amazing sponsor, PrizePicks. I love PrizePicks. Producer Cullen, he loves it too, and I know you will as well. This episode, like I mentioned, is brought to you by PrizePicks. You and I make decisions every day, but on PrizePicks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks, it's super simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you can cash in and win up to 2,000 times your money today. It's available in more than 40 states, including California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And if you're wondering, hey, what do you got lined up, Jugs? What should I do on PrizePicks? Well, this is my lineup for this weekend. CJ Stroud. I've said it, all throughout this year. Whenever I see rushing yards for CJ Stroud, I'm going the more. One thing he's done a lot better this season is use his legs and pick up first downs. 13.5 rushing yards. I'm going the more with CJ Stroud. Danielle Hunter, 0.75 sacks. He's been a menace getting after the quarterback. And whether it's a injured Lamar Jackson or a healthy Cooper Rush, I believe in 55 being able to get home. Give me the more on 0.75 sacks. Derrick Henry, he's been a problem for the Texans, so maybe, close your eyes, cover your ears. I'm going the more on his rush yards. And Woody Marks, this is a very fun one. Yards on his first rush attempt, 3.5. Hey, there's a snake in my boot. Give me the more on Woody Marks. You can use my lineup or go ahead and make your own with our friends over on PrizePicks. Join the millions of users and sign up for America's #1 fantasy sports app today. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Now, we've talked about Lamar Jackson. Will he play? Will he won't play? The Texans, regardless, have to go out and beat the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, no matter who is lined up under center. And I don't think we can overlook Cooper Rush just yet. Even if Lamar Jackson isn't good to go, like I said, it's not going to be a cakewalk. It's not going to be a walk in the park because even though the last time the Texans played Cooper Rush in the whenever he was a member of the Dallas Cowboys, they absolutely went BTA on him. His stats actually weren't that bad in his 2 years playing in Dallas. These are his stats from the 2 stints that he had to play while Dak Prescott was injured. In 2022, he had 9 games played. Not decent in the 58% completion percentage, but didn't turn the ball over. Only 3 interceptions, 5 touchdowns on that, and a passing yards per game of 116.8. In 2024, though, he stepped up his game as a backup for the Dallas Cowboys. 60.7 completion percentage, almost 2,000 yards through the air, 12 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, and passing yards per game of 153.7. Not too shabby as a backup quarterback. And as a starter, Cooper Rush is 9-5. And there's a reason he's not a starter. He's not somebody who you want to play 17 games with your team. But I kind of put him in that same bucket as Davis Mills, as if you have to play him, you're not necessarily terrified. You're not necessarily worried. You can still win games with Cooper Rush as your starting quarterback, a la the 9-5 record as a starter in his NFL career. And what's going to help him this time that didn't happen with the Dallas Cowboys is he actually has a rushing attack with the Baltimore Ravens. What worries me with Cooper Rush is if this Texans team is like, oh, Cooper Rush is playing, thank God we have this one in the bag, and the Ravens go ahead and lean on Derrick Henry, who historically has absolutely demolished the Houston Texans. I don't have to tell you about his time in Tennessee to tell you Derrick Henry has been somewhat of the Texans' kryptonite. throughout his entire NFL career, right? This season, 49 carries, 284 yards, 3 touchdowns, along of 49. The only thing that's plagued King Henry this season has been the fact that he's put the pill on the ground. He's fumbled in big situations multiple times. And now we know Derrick Henry, he's somebody who this Texans team knows very well, but also he's somebody who absolutely has this team's number. If the Texans don't take him seriously, if they don't take defending the run seriously, remember in week 2 when the Texans played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? Not pretty. They were averaging over 5 yards a carry, and that's with Rachaad White and Bucky Irving. Nothing against them, but I think Derrick Henry is better than both of those guys. And I think this Ravens offensive line is better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive line. So if we don't take this team seriously, if we don't stop the run and we think that we're just going to win this game, not so fast. I don't think that's the case with this Texans team. They need to get real, and they need to go out there and play 4 quarters of swarm football, especially on the defensive side, regardless of who's the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens this coming Sunday. That's all I have for you for today's show, folks. If you want to follow me on X, you can do so at Jeremy Chugs. My DM is always open. And if you made it to the end of today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Videos all year long, 100% free around your Houston Texans.